What's up, guys? I'm Lego Guy 6100, super excited to be bringing you the largest Funko Pop collection we have ever had in any video on this channel. We've got a total of 13 pops that we're looking at today, of course from the Pop It line. This is Wave 2, so I'm gonna kind of try to breeze right through these. So in the front row, we've got Georgie, Stanley, Pennywise with severed arm, Pennywise with wrought iron. Who else? We got the two chases in the back of Georgie and Beverly. Of course, like I said, Bill and Georgie, the whole reason for the whole movie. We've got Ben and Beverly common, so that's cool as well. Richie and Eddie. Here, I'm going to kind of zoom in here for you guys. And then, of course, last but not least, Pennywise with spider legs, and then Mike. So let's go ahead and look at this crazy set. First up here, we have Georgie. This is the common. He's not too expensive on Pop Price Guide, but of course it is a really simple pop. It's a kid wearing a poncho holding a boat, so I really like this pop. Of course, it's a must-have if you're trying to complete the set, as with all of these. But it's a cool pop. I think it's cool. It's just not the best one out of the entire wave, but nevertheless, I really do love this one. So we're going to go ahead and move on. I'm not going to talk about super detailed paint descriptions for each of these, considering the fact that we still have 12 other figures to go through. So let's move on. And here we have one of the more gruesome pops in this lineup. We have the Armless Georgie. This is the chase version, so it's the super special edition that's very hard to find. He's missing an arm there. You could see they actually sculpted a puddle of blood and the severed arm as well, with all the muscles and stuff coming out, which is pretty gruesome and gnarly looking. But overall, it's a cool pop. The coloring's different. They made his skin gray, of course, because he's pretty much dead at this point in the movie. Spoiler alert. But nevertheless, it's a cool pop, and we're gonna go ahead and move on. Next up in the lineup, we have Bill Denbrough, and this guy is top heavy, as you can see. He's been falling off of my little figure rotator for quite some time, so we're just gonna move this out of the way so I can give you a quick look at Bill. Not much going on here with this one, guys. It's a kid in a blue and white shirt. Costume's pretty simple, as it should be. The sculpt on the hair is nice. Paint overall on this one's nice. Things to be on the lookout for: clean hairlines, of course, and then the shirts are dirty, like the white. So cool pop. Let's move on. Next up in the collection, we have Ben Hanscom. This is probably the least interesting out of this whole lineup as far as pop design goes. I don't have anything against Ben's character. I like Ben quite a bit in the actual movie. It's just the costume that they put him in for this pop is just so simple. He's got the wolf on his shirt, very basic hair sculpt and head sculpt. Overall, it's kind of a boring pop, but Ben's a cool character. And then the egg also does glow in the dark if you're interested in that. But let's move on. Next up here, we have one of my favorite pops in the whole series, just based on how interesting she is. Beverly Marsh. This is one of the coolest pops in the series, and you can see they got all of her dress details here. She just looks really good. She's a little top heavy. You can see her leaning there towards the front, but overall, this is a really good pop. And honestly, with a Beverly pop, I couldn't be happier. So the only other pop for Beverly that we have in this series is the next one. And next up, we have probably the second best pop out of this entire wave, the Beverly Marsh chase from the sink bathroom scene. This looks so good. The entire top of her head is covered in the red, and then it drips down into the the orangey kind of ginger hair. Her arms are covered in the red, the back of her dress down to her legs is covered in the red, and of course this is before she's completely saturated in blood, because in the actual movie you know, after we see this stuff shoot out and she's like backing up away from the sink, she's like covered in the blood. So this one is probably my second favorite out of the normal Wave 2 releases, not including the Pennywise in gutter. So let's move on. And here we have probably my favorite character in the movie and book. We have Richie Tozier. This one looks super good. The paint between the black and the white is perfect. There's no bleeding at all, really. The glasses look good. Be on the lookout for some glasses where the black is dripping down from the frames into the actual lenses. And that's all I would say. Of course, look out for a clean hairline, and that's probably about it. I love the pose of this pop. It looks just like Richie, and you know, who doesn't like to have another Finn Wolfhard added to their Funko Pop collection? Of course, if you have Mike from Stranger Things. So this one is awesome. Let's go ahead and move on. Next up here we have Eddie, and he's probably my second favorite character in the actual movie. The pop is okay. I mean, it captures Eddie well. It's just not the most interesting looking costume. He's holding the inhaler. He's got his watch on. I really think the inhaler was a nice touch. Of course, you know, from what was featured in the trailers, of course he has to have his loser lover cast, which is done very nicely. The hair is, the hairline's kind of messy on mine. It bleeds out. It's like there's some gack on his ear, but I guess I'll have to live with it. Next up here we have Pennywise with spider legs, formerly known as Pennywise Crab. For the pre-orders on this thing, on all of the receipts, wherever you'd pre-order it from, it would say crab. So I don't know why they changed the name to spider legs at the last minute. It definitely does look more like a crab. But I picked this one on at GameStop. Sorry, I can speak. Things to be on the lookout for. Watch out for clean teeth, because this one, they have like all sorts of crusty guck, you know, on the actual pop for the teeth. But this is definitely not my favorite Pennywise. It's still a cool one. You'll see that there's much better Pennywises than this one, especially in this series. Next up, we have one of my favorite characters out of the actual book, but not the movie, Mike. And the pop is, it has the worst paint job out of any of the It Pops. I don't know why they did Mike's paint so terribly. I don't know why it was just Mike, but you could see the bleeding there. The actual like bandolier with all of the little you know, the shots in it for his little like sheep killing gun. It was just messed up. It was really bad. But one thing I could say for all of the Mikes I saw, they had a clean hairline, but the actual body paint is terrible. This was the best one I saw out of the comic store I was at, and yeah, this Mike does not look good. But the actual pop captures, you know, Chosen Jacobs very well. That is the actor who plays him. And it does look like Mike, so let's go ahead and keep going. Next up here we have another one that captures the character's design perfectly. This is Stanley Uris, and you can see here it's immediately recognizable. One of my favorites in the series as far as pop design goes. Not one of my favorites in the actual movie or book, but you can see there they've given him like the print on his face of the blood streaks for when the ugly flute lady, you know, was sinking like her teeth into his face. So I like that. The hair is perfect. I like that he's holding the pipe from the finale of the movie. I think it's just a really perfect pop. Here is actually the last pop I needed to complete this Wave 2 set. I got this one at the time of this recording yesterday in the mail. This is the Amazon exclusive Pennywise with severed arm. This one looks really cool. It's very disturbing, thinking that this could be like Georgie's arm or just some random kid's arm. Yeah, this is from the scene where, you know, Mike looks into the bushes as he's being, you know, tormented by Henry Bowers and crew, and sees Pennywise just holding the arm, you know, waving it at him like all frantically. It's really creepy and disturbing, but the hand actually does look good, and so does all the blood dripping from his mouth. So this is the Amazon exclusive. And I've truly saved the best one for last, guys. This is the FYE exclusive Pennywise with Wrought Iron. I have this one off of the like figure rotator because it is so top heavy due to that giant iron bar. through the side of his head. But the hair sculpt is nuts. The head sculpt just in general is crazy. This is definitely my favorite Pennywise to date that they have made. And I'm trying to get him to stand up here for you guys, but he seems to not want to do that. Okay, I guess I'm holding him. But you can see there, they've got the blood there. They've got the crazy teeth here. The eyes have the yellow circle in the red. So that looks great. The rod is amazing. Yeah, guys, this just looks so good. So let's go ahead and close out the video. So overall, guys, this is one of the craziest videos we've ever done here on the channel. A whole total of 13 pops. You know, this is one of the best pop series ever released in my opinion. We've got so many good characters, so many good pops here that just look, you know, really good. If you're just going to try and pick up the best ones in the series, I would probably say go for Pennywise with Wrought Iron if you could find him at your FYE, or Beverly Marsh. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks. And I've got this baby too.